How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we have some more information about some of those FBI texts, those pesky texts that won't seem to go away. There's a lot in here. They call Virginia voters, of which I was one of, ignorant rednecks for not voting for Andrew McCabe's wife during that whole kerfuffle that was going on between her and Terry McAuliffe. A big controversial mess. Obama's implicated in here, but we're going to read this article to see exactly what's going on. And of course, I am on Breitbart.com. This article will be in the description box below. So let's check it out. The latest round of revealed texts between FBI agents Peter Strzok and Lisa Page reveal that then President Obama wanted to know everything about the investigation into Hillary Clinton's secret email server, reports Fox News. Now, the question I would have is, why does he want to know everything about the investigation in Hillary Clinton's email server? Is he because he wants to prosecute her? Is he because he wants her to go to the penitentiary? Like, what's really the reason why he wants to know everything about that? Why is he involving himself in their investigation? I don't really know. We're going to see if they reveal it. Page and Strzok, I know I'm probably pronouncing his name incorrectly, but forgive me. Page and Strzok, who were engaged in an extramarital affair, exchanged the text on September the 2nd, 2016. The text reads, "POTUS wants to know everything we're doing." This is written in the context of disgraced former FBI Director James Comey wanting to prepare talking points to give Obama. According to Fox, Senate investigators say this text raises questions about Obama's personal involvement in the Clinton email investigation. Of course, if he wants to know everything, if he's pretty much placing himself in it, that most certainly raises questions about the whole situation. The whole idea of an FBI director preparing talking points for the president on such a sensitive issue is bound to raise questions. So too Obama's apparent involvement in an ongoing investigation directly involving one of his former cabinet members and possible successor. Moreover, this news directly contradicts what Obama told the public. Quote, "I do not talk to FBI directors about pending investigations. I guarantee that there is no political influence in any investigation," Obama said then, reports the Daily Mail's David Martosko. And there's like a little tweet right here on the screen before you. There's also a video of him saying that. I think I saw that earlier this week, maybe even today, and I will place that in the description box below so you're able to see it and hear it for yourself.
"I guarantee that there is no political influence in any investigation conducted by the Justice Department or the FBI, not just in this case, but in any case."
And she will be
full stop, period.
And she will be treated no differently.
Guaranteed, full stop.
Strzok and Page are the high-ranking FBI agents who despised Trump and exchanged thousands of text messages, some of which may have already been made public. Incredibly, both were part of Robert Mueller's special counsel investigation against Trump until it was revealed that they had exchanged texts that not only trashed the president, but talked of a, quote, insurance policy should he win the election. So that right there is good that they are not on it anymore, because they were actively against Trump. So this right here, this is the swamp that Trump speaks of. This is the deep state that many of us speak of. People, when you hear the term deep state, some people say, oh, you're Alex Jones, conspiracy theorist. There is no deep state, but we have evidence of it right here. We have the evidence in black and white text messages. You get extramarital affairs going on, people in the government trying to subvert the government. This is really going on. So you can't say that the whole deep state thing is a conspiracy theory and it's not really real. I mean, there was a tweet somewhere. It wasn't a tweet, pardon me. It was an article from CNN talking about, oh, Trump floats conspiracy theories, in which he was talking about this right here. Is it a conspiracy theory now? I don't think so, but I digress. Other revelations in this latest batch of texts include Strzok smearing Virginians as, quote, ignorant hillbillies after disgraced former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe's wife, a left-wing Democrat who received hundreds of thousands of dollars from organizations run by Clintonista Terry McAuliffe, lost her primary bid for state Senate. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Terry McAuliffe. Terry McAuliffe was a governor in Virginia. When I was there, he was a governor. He was also Hillary Clinton's 2008 campaign manager. So he's basically Clinton's friend. Like, DC and Virginia politics are pretty much one and the same. I'm not quite sure about Maryland, but definitely Virginia. People that live in Northern Virginia are representing like two different places. They represent DC and they also represent Virginia, because Northern Virginia has a third of the state's population and they all pretty much vote one way, which is Democrat, because those counties surrounding Washington, D.C. are very rich. And the reason is because of all the money that comes through the federal government that comes to them. So, of course, they're going to vote for the party that gives them more money into their personal pockets. But I digress yet again. While his wife received his money from Terry McAuliffe, McCabe was overseeing the investigation into Hillary Clinton's secret email server. Quote, disappointing, but look at the district maps. Loudoun is being gentrified, but it's still largely ignorant hillbilly. Unquote. Strauss, November the 4th, 2015 text reads the day after he lost. So, okay, so they're talking about gentrification being a good thing. See, this right here, these are the white liberals. These are the ones that say, you know what? We're on your side, black man, black woman. We're against gentrification. We want you to be able to have access to this, that, and the third. But then they say, you know what? Look, we need more gentrification, these ignorant hillbillies. And then, I mean, if they're going to talk about ignorant hillbillies, what do they say about you? What do they say about you if you don't vote for them? Look at these ignorant N-words. I wouldn't put it past them. People talk about the South. People talk about people that live in the South and how they're racist and this, that, and the third. I'm down here close to Georgia, Alabama, and people here have been nothing but great to me. Everybody I've met has been fantastic, very helpful, even more so than when you go further up north, closer to DC. So it's just a bunch of lies that the left feeds us in the black community, the so-called ignorant hillbillies or whatever. It's lies that they feed us to try and get us to vote for them so they can get more power, more money, engage in more corruption, quid pro quo, this, that, and the third. But back to the article. The irony of Strauss misspelling hillbillies is worth noting. Yeah, he did spell it wrong. Hillbilliy. Fox News also obtained text written by Strauss in the immediate aftermath of Trump's presidential victory. OMG, this effing terrifying. He wrote to his paramour, OMG, I am so depressed. A week or so later, Page wrote, I bought all the president's men. Figure I need to brush up on Watergate. The next day, November 14th, Page texted something ominous. God, being here makes me angry. Lots of highfalutin national security talk. Meanwhile, we have our task ahead of us. Our task, I mean, I'm air quotes here if you don't see me, our task again raises questions about Strauss' August text about the anti-Trump insurance policy, which many believe is a phony Russian dossier that was paid for by the Clinton campaign, but still used by Comey's FBI to obtain surveillance warrants on those affiliated with the Trump campaign. That does make sense here. It makes a lot of sense. And shout out to John Oti for writing this. And of course, this article will be in the description box. The insurance policy does make a lot of sense. The so-called insurance policy being in the dossier. If you don't know what was in the dossier, I'll sum it up for you right quick. Basically, it was some fan fiction made up by a guy named Christopher Steele, who was, I think he was a British intelligence agent. This dossier thing was in part funded by allegedly the Russians. We know that it was funded by the Clinton campaign, Hillary Clinton, the DNC, which is basically one and the same. The DNC was basically the Clinton campaign at the time. That's why they're going broke right now, because Hillary's not running and she's not able to raise that money. But I digress. In the dossier, it said that Trump hired some Russian hookers to pee on a bed in Moscow that Barack Obama and Michelle Obama have slept in before and was sleeping again. So that was the extent of that. From that, they were able to extrapolate that there's some Russian collusion going on, all this, that, and the third. So then they were able to get FISA applications approved and renewed to spy on people that were affiliated with Donald Trump, to wiretap Trump Tower. That's what that was all about. So I guess that was their insurance policy. Maybe they thought they would get something from the wiretap indirectly because they had people that were in Trump Tower. Maybe they thought that Trump would be in there talking reckless, and then they get him on tape saying something crazy. They would so-called leak it to the media, and then that would be how they would get him out. But obviously it didn't work. All that it has done is make the Democratic Party look more corrupt than what it is already. more than what we already know. I'm not surprised at this. This is really kind of an open and shut thing. Really, I've known this whole situation for many months now, maybe even a couple years now. This is not anything new, but we're just getting confirmation as of right now as to what was happening throughout the 2016 campaign process. We know that there's a lot of corruption in Washington, D.C. The Democrats are corrupt. There is some corruption on the other side as well. There's a swamp that needs to be drained. And as I close here, I describe the swamp this way. It's like a big octopus with its tentacles in every facet of the government, outside the government, and it's basically in Washington, D.C. and the surrounding area. Like I said, you're talking about Alexandria, Loudoun, Fairfax. These counties in Northern Virginia are the richest in the state. And the reason why is because of all the money that comes from the federal government that gets dispersed to the surrounding areas outside of D.C. D.C. is right there on the Potomac River. Right across the river, you have Virginia. And like I said, 1/3 of the state's population is right there. So the swamp emanates from the Potomac outwards. And the strongest parts of it are right there in Northern Virginia, where you have Virginia politicians and D.C. politicians alike. This is why you have Andrew McCabe's wife trying to run for Senate, getting funded by Terry McAuliffe. Terry McAuliffe was a Hillary Clinton guy. All the money pretty much gets washed. It's a big mafia mob type operation. I, for one, am glad that Trump is in there to finally try, at least attempt to break that whole thing up. But what do you think? Do you think that these texts are a nothing burger? There's nothing to see here. And if you think that way, please explain to me why. Or do you think that there is something to these texts? It shows that there's a lot of corruption. There's true collusion between members of the federal government, Barack Obama, to do wrong, to subvert the government, to subvert Donald Trump and his administration. Whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.